Yes, dear viewers, how is sieving different from filtration as methods of separating mixtures? Just without wasting time, sieving is a method of separating solid mixtures. Mind you, we teach such in P5. And the types of mixtures, one of the types of mixtures that we are supposed to teach at primary are the solid mixtures. For example, when you look at these are beans, as you can see, and this is rice. Now, assuming that you have mixed the two like this, you have mixed beans. Beans are in solid form, and the rice is also a solid. The two are combined together, and this is what we call a solid mixture. Now, suppose you want to separate rice from beans. Which method can you use? You can use sieving. You can use sorting. With sorting, you use hands, then you pick, or what we call hand picking. But if you don't use sorting or hand picking, you can use sieving. So with sieving, you use a sieve or a wire mesh. So a sieve looks like this one, but for it, it has bigger holes or coarser mesh, as I may say. The holes are big, and a sieve is slightly flat. You normally see such in your schools at the kitchen when they are separating beans and stones, or even places where we buy beans from. Those people with stores, they have sieve or they have such a devices. And obviously it is bigger, we can have a bigger sieve. That means that I can use this one to explain what I'm trying to mean. For example, if this is assuming that this is a sieve and I want to separate beans from rice, then I can pour my mixture on a sieve. And because my sieve will be having bigger holes, then, for example, you can see rice passing through. Then the solid with bigger particles will remain on the top of the sieve. So what is the guiding principle? In other words, what determines whether you are to use a sieve or sieving? It means that one of the principles, the mixtures or the solids to be separated must be of different sizes. For example, separating beans and rice, separating stones from beans, separating sand and stones. Those are some of the few examples of solid mixtures one can easily separate using a sieve or a wire mesh. Then also another thing I want to show you is filtration. Filtration is used to separate solid liquid mixtures. It is a method of separating an insoluble solid from a liquid. That means that the solid to be separated must be an insoluble solid. It must not dissolve in the liquid or in water. And the filtration, what do we use? Filtration uses a filter paper. You can as well use cotton wool. You can as well use a clean piece of cloth. You can as well use the strainers. These are strainers. This is a strainer and this is a strainer. The two are regarded as strainers. So that means that you can get, for example, this is a glass where I have put passion fruit juice, still with the seeds, as you can see, settled at the bottom. So that means that using my strainer, I can be able to separate my seeds from juice. So you can see how the two can be separated. So the solid or the seeds at the end of the exercise or activity, they can remain on the top of the strainer. Then when we check inside, you can see our juice that has been separated. That is how simple it can be, and that's what we are supposed to do as teachers as we implement a competence-based curriculum. It should be hands-on. It should be interactive. Learners are supposed to get involved than a teacher standing in front of the class and you start lecturing and you teach theoretical, as I may say. But the moment you use the approach that I have used, then you will have used the best approach in a competence-based curriculum. See you in the next video. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you then. Thank you.